Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. Alright, today I want to talk about a very, very important setup position that I see a lot of Sergeites having troubles with in daily lessons in schools. And that is specifically the master setup position, or sometimes called MSP, master setup position. And another issue that when the master setup position gets out of whack, it has a tremendously bad effect on your alignment. All right, so let's talk about it. We know that when we get into trying to get ready to walk into the golf ball, and I talk about putting the club up in the air and making sure the face is square to the ground, and I always talk about getting the right arm to kind of move inward like this so that the elbow is pointing upward. And you can find all this information on the Foundations manual and videos about the setup and everything else. So you can get all this information in the Surge store with manuals and the videos, and possibly in some other dailies that I've talked about this with. But this is critical. I call it master setup position. I almost could say this is the position your arms better be in if you want to be able to make a good takeaway into the catcher's mitt, toe up and up the tree, and swing the club correctly all the way. So you square the face, you turn it in. Now look what happens. When I do that, my right arm is down, my right shoulder, my back shoulder is down, my muscles are relaxed. Your muscles have to basically be down and relaxed to lift your arms up. If your shoulders are up tight, it's hard to lift your arms up. Your neck and shoulders are out of balance. The muscles in the back and in your chest, your pecs are all out of balance, and it can affect you being able to lift the club. And most golfers do not do this. This is another one of those high error things I see in setup with Sergeites that are working really hard to get the swing, but they're missing this one. All right, and what the problem is I see them many often. The right arm is straight. All right, just about relatively straight. It doesn't have this little bend in it. See from here, when I come down. Now watch what happens. If I come down and my right arm, or my back arm is too straight, which would be the left arm for a lefty, the lower arm is too straight, you can't even see this arm from the camera. So your right side's high. It's going to be difficult to lift the club up and take the club back square for one into the catcher's mitt, toe up. It's going to tend to come back here, and now you can't lift anymore because the bottom hand's on top of the top hand, and you can't lift until you do something like that, which is going to be, you have to relax the shoulders, let the shoulder drop, the right arm drops, the back arm drops, and then guess what? It flips the club, and there is the easiest way to get to a flat, laid-off golf club. Now, most rotational golfers have been taught to keep that arm high because they want that to happen. Because they want the golf club over here at about 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending on where you're putting your clock. But the point is, it is not 12 o'clock. It is not light. Their club is heavy. And we want to swing a light club. And the light club can only be started from the master setup position. So you got to get that right hand. And when you do this, you can't let it pull your bottom hand to the right for a right hander or the left for a lefty and make it strong and let the club move more into the palm instead of staying in the fingers. You have to do this where it just happens from the wrist to the elbows, and the wrist is going to stay put where it's at until you swing. And now you see how easy when you swing into the catcher's mitt, the club it's easy to get into the mitt and then up the tree because we have the proper rotation of both arms rotating equally, and then both arms are lifting together, creating a nice equilateral triangle with the elbows at the top level. You get to this, you can see you got an equilateral triangle, but the elbows are not level to the ground. They're like this, which is indicative of why the club's there. When the elbows are level and you're vertical, it's level, and you can stand there and just, without even looking, just drop that club. It slides down the hands. So the master setup position is critical. That back arm has to be a little bit bent and low. You can feel the droopy shoulders. You can lift straight up. Rotate properly, toe up, and lift up the tree. And there you have the essence of the peak performance backswing, the vertical, body-friendly backswing. And you can only get it consistently with the master setup position. Okay, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be speaking with you all again soon.